Act. A person who willfully furnishes a House or a Committee of Parliament with information or makes a statement before it which is false or misleading, commits an offense and is liable to a fine or to imprisonment for a period not exceeding 2 years. You are required to take an oath or affirm that the evidence you are about to give is truthful. Which one do you elect, oath or affirmation? So please speak through the microphone.
Oath, please.
Yeah, that you have elected to take an oath. Please follow me as I dictate. I, and you'll state your names in full.
I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch that.
May you please say I and state your names in full.
I, Paul O'Sullivan,
Swear that the evidence I shall give
swear that the evidence I shall give
shall be the truth,
shall be the truth,
the whole truth,
the whole truth,
and nothing but the truth.
and nothing but the truth.
And so help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you so much. We are going to have 2 days with you today and tomorrow. And the Advocate Arendse has advised me that you requested that the proceedings should not go beyond 7 o'clock. So he gave reasons why you request that we finish before 7.
Chairman, I've been on a long haul flight to get here, and I spent the whole night, last night, in preparation for today. And I also have medical issues that need to be dealt with. I'm 70 years old, and I'm not the spring chicken I used to be. So unfortunately, I have spinal problems, and I have to spend a certain amount of my time lying flat. And I don't really want to give evidence lying on a bed. So by a certain time today, I will be in a lot of pain. And the best way to relieve that pain is for me to lie down. So that's basically it in a nutshell, Chairman.
Yeah. I think it's a reasonable request. We will allow the evidence leader to start to lead you in the presentation of evidence. Honorable Malema.
Thank you, Chair. I thought you'll also ask if Mr. O'Sullivan has got a company, people who have accompanied.
Or people who have accompanied him.
And if they are here, in which capacity, and
I don't
can
know what he's saying.
introduce them.
Yeah.
I can't hear.
Do you have people who have accompanied you today here?
Pardon?
Do you have people who have accompanied
There's somebody here, yes.
you? Who is the person?
It's just somebody that's taking care of my security needs.
Okay. Is the person inside the chambers?
Correct, Chairman.
Okay. Where is the person?
I don't know, Chairman. I cannot see.
What is the name of the person?
Paul Gibson. Paul Gibson.
Okay. And the security team of Parliament?
The security team of Parliament, Chairman, are also scattered around this room and outside. And the police have provided me with additional escorts as well. So this was necessary because of the threats that have been made against me.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm satisfied.
No, I just want to know if the security team of Parliament is aware that Paul Gibson is here.
We had yesterday, Chairman, we had a dry run.
You made those security arrangements with them?
Sorry, Chairman?
I'm saying you made those security arrangements with them?
Yes, we made our arrangements and everything's in place. I'm satisfied that everything is in place.
Honorable, are you satisfied? Okay. Honorable Scosan.
Thank you, Chair. I hope that the security class has done well on that by vetting that person as well, that we don't need thugs in here. Like the last time we had someone here sitting here who came with the one general. We don't need that. We need a person of integrity if it's a security personnel. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, thank you so much. Look, Mr. Mpilo is here and has always been here during our proceedings. Before this proceeding started, honorable members, he came to me to brief me that they have met with our witness yesterday. They also did a trial to satisfy each one of the parties that the arrangements that are in place are to everyone's comfort. So I think let's leave those details to the security. If we may have any suspicion with any person that may be within the premises, I think we can always report that to the security for them to take care of that. Advocate Arendse and Mr. Paul O'Sullivan, I'm going to give you this time for the presentation of evidence, and I want to wish you good luck in that exercise. Just
Good,
before
Chair.
that, we have the apology of Honorable Helper. But this is not written when I know he's preparing for SONA. Okay. Because it's just a letter saying Apollo. Yeah, he's preparing for SONA, honorable members. Those are the DA arrangements we can't discuss. If they say Honorable Topa is preparing for SONA, let's accept that it's an organizational commitment. Yeah. Okay.
He's not preparing for SONA, Chair. He's attending to a personal issue today that was arranged a long time ago.
Which apology must we record, Honorable Breitenbach?
Mine. And while we're busy, I need to be excused at 1:15, please. Thank you.
13:15. Okay. No, thank you so much. Advocate, we will break at 13 hours, Advocate Arendse and Mr. O'Sullivan. Let's run now until 13 hours.
Thank you, Honorable Chair, honorable members. You in the short time, you may also have noticed that Mr. O'Sullivan is also a bit hard of hearing, so it's also, I suppose, for me to speak loudly and clearly when asking him questions or when addressing him. Thank you. Mr. O'Sullivan, you did depose to an affidavit, which is the original of which has now been handed up to the chairperson, and the copy that is before me and my colleagues and the honorable members, that's a copy of that original affidavit.
That's correct, Chairman.
Thank you. In paragraph 1, you refer to your current profession as a certified fraud investigator, and that you founded a forensic investigation company, Paul O'Sullivan and Associates, which has since changed its name to O'Sullivan, Brosnan and Associates. And then in 2015, you had also formed a non-profit company, Forensics for Justice, in 2015. And then you also have other property and business interests in South Africa and overseas.
That's correct, Chairman. If I can just stop one briefly, I've just realized there's a typing mistake here. Where it says I'm currently a certified fraud investigator. Chairman, I'm a certified fraud examiner. That's just a typo.
Okay.
But I'm a certified fraud examiner since about 21 years ago.
So particularly in relation to your fraud examiner investigation interests, what is that?
Chair, Chair,
Pardon?
no, sorry, Chair.
Honorable Malam.
Think by now the evidence leader should be mastering the mic. You know, when he speaks, the mic is by his forehead, not on his mouth. It's by the
Yeah.
forehead, and we don't hear.
I just less than 2 minutes ago, I requested Bonani that when he passed there, he must lower the mic too. Can we do better, Advocate Aransa, with the microphone?
Mr. O'Sullivan, I asked, what is your business or your work entail as a certified fraud examiner, investigator? And the one company, O'Sullivan, Brosnan and Associates, and the other company, Forensics for Justice, what does that entail?
Chairman, so I formed O'Sullivan, Brosnan and Associates in 2012. And the purpose of that entity, it's a for-profit company. It's a normal business. And the purpose of that company is to carry out forensic investigations. The company is made up of criminologists, certified fraud examiners, attorneys, and accountants. And we carry out in-depth forensic investigations into fraud, mostly in the corporate sector, Chairman. And some of those investigations would run into hundreds of millions of rand. And obviously that's done through contracts that are entered into with the corporate client. And the intention is to raise profits, and those profits are then used to run the non-profit company, which is called Forensics for Justice. And Forensics for Justice was formed primarily to investigate state-sponsored corruption, and particularly with a focus on corruption within the criminal justice system and state-owned entities or companies. And in that regard, we investigate a lot of corruption within Transnet, Eskom, PRASA, South African Airways, a number of state-owned companies. And obviously we carried out a lot of investigations into the police and the prosecution service, where there was some rogue, and we didn't focus on constables and sergeants. We focused on generals and deputy directors in the prosecution service, or directors in the prosecution service.
What was the motivation or your motivation to inquire into these entities and to do this kind of work? Or do you do that on behalf of your clients, your corporate clients, or members of the public that request or require you to do these investigations?
No, Chairman, so if I turn the clock back, I wasn't really interested in the public sector at all. And I wasn't really interested in, when I say interested, I had no desire to investigate the police or the prosecution service or anything like that. But in 2001, some criminals tried to murder me. And it was after I canceled the security contract worth about 300 million rand. And they tried to murder me, and they brought an urgent application in the High Court to have the contract cancellation set aside. And then at that moment in time, for reasons which I later found out were corruption reasons, the then Commissioner of Police, Jackie Salebi, got involved. And he took steps to neutralize me from canceling the contract And one thing led to another. And after a few years, I realized that actually he was engaged in corruption. So I decided it would be in the public interest to not have a chief of police that was corrupt. So I assembled several lever arch files of evidence and I handed it over to the Scorpions, and they went and dealt with that matter. And I think it's a matter of public record, Chairman, that after a 3-year trial, Jackie Salebi was sentenced to 15 years in prison for corruption. And I can say that I probably spent about 7 years of my life providing evidence for that investigation to the Scorpions.
That is dealt with a bit later on in your affidavit, and we'll get there. In your affidavit, you also mentioned that you hold citizenship of 3 countries, and you discuss that at paragraph 3 of your affidavit.
That's correct, Chairman. I'm first was a citizen of Ireland, and then I became a citizen of Great Britain, and then I became a citizen of South Africa. So when I became a citizen of South Africa, I already had citizenship of Ireland and the United Kingdom. And yeah.
Where were you born?
I was actually born in England of Irish parents, but I was brought up in Ireland. So when I grew up, I considered myself Irish, so I took an Irish passport. And then later I obtained a British passport because having been born in Britain, I was entitled to have a British passport. And I saw no reason why I shouldn't have these passports.
Had been posed or asked whether the reason why you hold citizenship of 3 countries is that you are or might be an agent or a foreign agent, or you're working or doing work for foreign entities, countries.
I think, with all respect, Chairman, I've been in this country now 40 years, and I can categorically state that I have not performed any foreign agent activities in that 40 years. And in fact, my loyalty is to South Africa. If we go back to 1995, as an example, one of my daughters, a young girl then, she's obviously fully adult now, we were putting on at work, we were putting on for the Rugby World Cup. I gave all my staff the afternoon off from 11 in the morning. And we got one of these big screen TVs, which was like a projector, because LCD TVs didn't exist then. And I set up a competition amongst the staff that whoever could come along as the best dressed rugby player or rugby supporter would get a prize. And I said that they could invite their family or children to this function. And I brought, at that stage, I only had 2 children. I now have 7. I brought my 2 daughters with me, Roisin and Sinead. And Roisin was a very strong rugby supporter. And she came along dressed as a Springbok. And one of the guys there said, "Yes, but you're Irish. So do you support Ireland or do you support South Africa?" And she said, "Actually, I support 3 teams. First, I support South Africa because I'm South African. Secondly, I support Ireland because I'm Irish." And the guy said, "But what's the 3rd team that you support?" She said, "Whoever's playing against England." So that gives you the flavor. And that was in 1995, which is, my math's not, 31 years ago. So 31 years ago, we all considered ourselves South African. And I have children that were born here and went to school here, and they consider themselves South African. And I would consider it criminal for me to support a foreign government. It's very easy to have foreign passports because it's very convenient to be able to travel around the world. Unfortunately, because of the levels of corruption in South Africa, the South African passport is not what it used to be. But an Irish passport gets you into any country in Europe. And the South African passport will not get you into any country in Europe without standing in queues and filling in forms and obtaining visas and so on and so forth. So the multiple passport story, Chairman, is a convenience. And I have taken the oath a short while ago, and I want to remind everybody that having taken that oath, I'm stating clearly under oath, I have never acted as a foreign agent in this country.
And just while we're on that, you mentioned that your businesses in property development and also the forensic company O'Sullivan, Brosnan and Associates effectively cross-subsidize your NGO work for forensics for justice. Apart from that, do you receive any other funding, especially foreign funding?
Chairman, we don't receive any foreign funding. On the website, forensicsforjustice.org, we are fully transparent and we publish our accounts. So from 2015 until present time, anybody can go on and look at our accounts. And when you see the amount of money that comes into our accounts, which is shown in those audited accounts, you will see actually we run that on a shoestring. And in most years, we're lucky if we get 100,000 in donations. And most of the donations we get, Chairman, are a man in the street, 500 Rand here, 500 Rand there. We don't have any big donors. We had one big donor who paid us over a period of about a year, I think 700,000 Rand. And that was something that that company had chosen to do as a sponsorship. And that was a few years ago. But we have no, absolutely to our knowledge, no overseas donors.
Now, again, maybe just going a bit off script, but because we at the point about your businesses, Ms. Sarah Jane Trent, her name has been mentioned. Tell us a little bit about her. Do you know her? Did she work for you? What was your relationship with her? Does she still work for you? What did she do when she worked for you? If she did?
Chairman, I can't remember the year now, but it would probably been about 2013 or 2014, somewhere like this. Sarah Jane Trent applied to the company for a position as an intern. She had completed her law degree, but she hadn't completed her articles and she hadn't taken her board exams. And she applied for a position as an intern. So we gave her a 1-year contract.
And sorry, is this for O'Sullivan, Brosnan and Associates?
Yes, at that time, it's the same company, but at that time it was called Paul O'Sullivan and Associates. Because I'm moving towards pension, I decided to take on a partner a few years ago, and now it's called O'Sullivan, Brosnan and Associates. So my plan would be within the next year or two that, if God gives me the grace to stay around till then, that I will go on pension and the company can still carry on running. But it was Paul O'Sullivan Associates. She applied for a position as a intern doing legal research work. We have an in-house corporate counsel who's a lawyer. And at that time, I gave her a 1-year contract. At the end of the 1-year contract, she wanted to continue working and her work performance was acceptable. It was very good. And then I signed a permanent contract with her. So she became a permanent employee as defined in the Labour Relations Act. And the condition of employment was that within 2 years, she complete her articles and be registered as an attorney, and also complete and take her board exams to become a certified fraud examiner, which I already was. And she then, she did that. So she became an attorney and a certified fraud examiner. And then that coincided with my decision to form this non-profit company, Forensics for Justice. So I invited her to be the executive director. I was the founder of it, but I invited her to be the executive director of Forensics for Justice, which meant she was the person that would have to assist with those pro bono investigations that we would carry out. But she effectively reported to me, and she carried out my instructions.
And what's the current?
Just a moment, Honorable Mathis.
Pardon? I didn't hear that.
Thank you, Chair. Can the evidence leader tell us on which page of the statement we are on, and particularly on the matter of Sarah Jane, because I didn't see it in the statement. Thanks.
Okay. Point taken.
As I respond, Chair. I did say, it's not right. It's not in the statement right now, but I prefaced my remark by saying I'm going a bit off script because we are talking about your company and the non-profit organization, and the name of Sarah Trent has come up.
Okay.
Can you now at this stage just, and that's what the witness has been doing.
Oh, thank you so much.
I'll continue, Chair.
Honorable Mathis.
Chair, the evidence leader, since he started, has not even said we are on paragraph 1, we are on paragraph 2. He's not leading. He's always going off script. We don't know where we are following. I mean, there's just a basic thing on leading evidence. On paragraph 2, you are talking about this. Can you expand? That's all we're asking so we can follow properly. Thank you, Chair. And we raised this even last week, and he's doing the same thing again.
Advocate Arendse, may you please repeat what you said?
Thank you, Chair. So we were still discussing your interests, your business interests, and your non-profit organization, referring to one in which is still in paragraph 1 of your statement.
Before you proceed, I just wanted you to explain to Honorable Mathis what you are doing so that all of us are able to follow you.
Sorry, Chair.
Yeah, I was saying that if you can explain to her the issue of Sarah Jane Trent. May you please explain to her so that she understands what you are.
It's not that I don't understand. I get that the senior counsel is even saying he's going off the beaten track. I'm saying that since the senior counsel started, he has not even pointed us to a single paragraph. And I'm just asking that he affords us so we can follow on the statement what it is we are dealing with. So if he gets to a certain paragraph, I'm on paragraph 5, and I'm going to ask also here about Sarah Jane. She doesn't appear anymore. If you go back and you look at hindsight, since the senior counsel started, he has not even indicated we're on paragraph 1 or 2 or 3. So we're just asking for that basic indulgence, please, Chair.
Yeah, I think what he said was that he will go off script. And I think once he comes back to the statement, he will alert all of us. Let's proceed.
Honorable Chair, I refer to paragraph 1. I did refer at the outset to paragraph 1, and the witness can confirm that. And we were talking about his businesses and what he does.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Let's do like this. Let's,
So in relation to what is in paragraph 1,
Advocate Arons, just one moment.
Right.
Just a moment. Yeah. Okay, we can proceed. We are on paragraph 1 now.
we are on paragraph 1,
Yeah.
where Mr. O'Sullivan indicates that his company, Paul O'Sullivan and Associates, changed its name to O'Sullivan, Brosnan and Associates, and he explained how that took place. He also indicated that he formed this company, Forensics for Justice, and explained how that took place. We discussed, which is not mentioned in paragraph 1, about funding, sources of funding. Why? Because this issue has been raised before the Honorable Committee on previous occasions. So while I was there, I asked him about it because he discussed the funding, and I asked the question about whether it's foreign funded and so on. And while we were there, he discussed people who work for him. So I said, the name of Sarah Trent has come up in this committee. In fact, she's now been identified as a witness. So can you just also tell us about her? And that's where we were.
That is sufficient, Advocate Arons. Let's proceed.
Thank you. Mr. O'Sullivan, so just what is Ms. Sarah Jane Trent's current position in relation to Forensics for Justice? Is she still the executive director?
Chairman, in March, about I think it's almost 4 years ago, actually. Ms. Trent expressed a desire to move on. I think she'd been with me at that stage for about 7 years. And she expressed the desire to move on. So she resigned as executive director in March 22 of, is that 4 years ago? Almost 4 years ago. She resigned as executive director of Forensics for Justice. She was also director of what was still called Paul O'Sullivan Associates at that stage. She resigned as a director of Paul O'Sullivan Associates. And she was also a director of one of my development companies, and she resigned as a director of that company. And she went to work somewhere else, and I wished her good luck. And yeah, so she hasn't been involved in my businesses for almost 4 years.
So does she have any other association or relationship with you, either professional or otherwise?
None whatsoever, Chairman.
Okay. Thank you. Now, in paragraphs 4 and 5, paragraphs 4 and 5, you list several professional qualifications and commendations in your affidavit.
Mm-hmm.
Can you describe your experiences and how these recognitions and commendations
I can just read
has
it.
shaped your expertise in combating fraud and corruption?
Yeah, if I can, and these are obviously, you could say qualifications or memberships or whatever. Perhaps it's back to front, because actually I joined the police in 1990. So, and the reason I joined the police, Chairman, it was quite simple. I was running a property development company at the time, and I had a secretary, and oh, excuse me, my chair got broken, my car got broken into, and somebody stole the radio out of my car. In those days, you had a radio with a tape, you know, you push a tape in and everything, and there was a craze of people breaking into cars and stealing those radios. And my car got broken into, and somebody stole the radio. And I told my secretary to get the company in to replace the window and put the new radio in. And she said, have you opened the case? I said, you know, it's a few $100 for a car radio and a window. And the paperwork involved to open a case, I think I should just leave it. And she said, no, no, my husband is in the police. And he says every case should be opened. And in fact, you should meet him. And I met him. Very nice guy. I can't remember his first name now because it's a very long time ago. But he was a major in the police. Edwards, his name was. And he was the station commander at Halfway House Police Station. And I met him and I opened the docket. And then, of course, they never caught anybody. But then he said to me, you know what? You can become a police reservist. So he explained to me how it all worked and everything. You have to fill in forms and whatnot. And they have to do, they have to check to make sure you don't have a criminal record. And then you do the training and you become police reservist. So I did that. And that was in 1990. That's 36 years ago. I became a police reservist. And I realized that it was important in this country, not just to be a taker, but to be a giver as well. So I started contributing. And my contribution was to work hard as a police reservist, and that's what I did. And then I realized that it would be important to get relevant training and relevant skills for the work that I was doing. So I went on a number of courses at my own expense. And eventually I became a certified fraud examiner. I became a member of the society, the American Society of Criminology. There's no South African Society of Criminology. I became a voice stress analyst, a certified voice stress analyst in 2001. I became a certified aviation security specialist in 2001. And that related to my work at the time. I was a fellow at the Institute of Directors since 1991. In fact, I became a US Department of Justice certified document examiner since 2000. That flowed from the work I was doing in the border police, because in I was originally in the police in Boysons, and in 1996 I got badly injured.
Mr. O'Sullivan, can I just interrupt you? You've now just jumped to, or if I could just indicate to the honorable members, we're discussing, initially I asked you about the recognition and the commendations which are at paragraph 4 and 5.
Okay.
And if you wish to highlight anything there, and then you had also jumped to paragraphs,
Okay.
the volunteer,
sorry.
your heading volunteer
Yeah, I will
work as
try
a
and follow
reservist.
yeah.
That's from paragraphs 14 through to 20.
Okay, so in paragraph 5,
So, yeah, so at the moment you've now jumped to paragraph 6,
Yeah.
your professional background.
okay, let me go back to
Property
paragraph 5.
Yes.
Sorry, Chairman. My mind sometimes is ahead of my eyes.
Is there anything you want to highlight there in paragraph 4 and 5?
Yeah, so I think
Advocate, may we take Honorable Malem?
I think I've dealt with paragraph 4. On paragraph 5.
Thanks, Chair.
Pardon? What?
Honorable Malem.
Yeah, I wanted to check, maybe that the evidence leader is now referring us to paragraphs, because I thought they were still going to come to paragraph 3, where the witness suggests that we can't ask him questions about anything before 1990. I've never had a witness who gives an affidavit saying to us, you can't ask me this or that, because when he took an oath, he committed to answer all the questions and do so truthfully. And he can't say to us, so how do we treat paragraph 3 after he has taken an oath? How do we treat it? What is this paragraph worth of?
Are we on to that paragraph, advocate, or are we still going there?
They were on paragraph 4 now.
Yeah.
Mr. O'Sullivan, in paragraph 3, highlighted now by Honorable Malema, is that for reasons of personal and family security, you will not engage in discussions concerning your family, background, education, or business interests in South Africa or overseas prior to 1990. For what reason or why do you mention that?
Chairman, just for personal security, over the last 15 years, there's been 10 attempts on my life. In 1996, I was shot 3 times. There have been multiple attempts on my life. And Chairman, unfortunately, the criminal element, what they try to do is they try to find out things about you, which is of a personal nature. They want to know, where's your business interest? Where are your children living? Where are your properties? So I've made it clear that I'm not going to be providing any of that information. It's just not going to be advanced. And we can sit here all day and you can ask me a million questions. I will not provide that information. I'm entitled to protect my own personal interests and to protect my family interests. And I intend to do that, Chairman.
You have already mentioned that you have 7 children.
Yes, I have 7 children, but I'm not giving all their names out, and I'm not saying where they are and what they're doing. You know, I have the right to protect my family and my interests and my personal interests. And the dirty games that are being played by the criminals that I've been exposing, as I've said prior to this, Chairman, there have been at least 10 recorded attempts on my life. There are people on trial at this moment in time for trying to murder me, for nothing more than exposing their criminal conduct.
Let's just hold it before I take you, Honorable Malema, for a follow-up. Yeah, I note your hands. I don't think that it will be fair for you to make a statement that we can sit here for the whole day.
I can't hear. Sorry, Chairman, I can't hear what you're saying.
Yes, I'm saying that I don't think it's fair for you to make the statement that we can sit here for the whole day. Surely you could get a better way to say it, isn't it?
Well, we don't have to sit here the whole day, Chairman.
Yeah.
I prefer to just get on and give my evidence.
No, I'm saying on the question, whether you are prepared to answer for matters before 1990.
Yeah.
And then you say, no, we can sit here for the whole day. I'm not going to say anything. I don't think it's a better way to say it. You could have found a polite way to make that statement. Do you agree with me?
A point taken, Chairman.
Thank you. Honorable Malema.
No, thanks, Chair. I don't think it is correct for the witness to write his own questions and answer them. He can't say to us, we can't ask him anything about things that happened before 90. What if the business you are talking about started engaging in wrongdoing before 1990 and is still doing the same thing now and want to refer back to where it started? What if there is an allegation that you are handling certain activists of the liberation movement that happened before 1990? And that's why you've got certain relationship you have with them today. So it cannot be correct, and that has got nothing to do with criminality. That has got everything to do with trying to demonstrate that you have captured criminal justice system way before even 1994. So it can't be correct, Chair, especially after taking an oath. that is going to answer every question here and answer it truthfully. And therefore, we need to make it very clear as a committee that is going to answer every question presented before him here. He's under oath. And it's not going to tell us here that we can sit here the whole day and ask him questions. He's not going to answer those questions. He's going to have to answer those questions. He has taken an oath to answer the questions. And that must be made very clear to him.
Honorable Skosana, Honorable Nomvalo, you are going to speak, honorable members. There is no need for you to be.
Thank you, Chair. Indeed, paragraph 3 is problematic because, you know, when you go to paragraph 5.1, commendation from Scotland Yard for stopping a knife attack and arresting suspect 1978. And now, on paragraph 3, it says that we can't ask him anything before that. He's contradicting his own statement as well here. And as well, I mean, when you look at paragraph 3, education has nothing to do with criminality. I mean, it doesn't make sense, Chair. Hence, I'm just giving one example. Himself, this is what he said, yes, Scotland Yard, 1978. He stopped somebody, you know, knife attack. But here he's telling us that we can't ask anything beyond 1990. It can't be allowed, Chair. Thank you.
Honorable Nomvalo. Harvard. Honorable Ngola.
No, Chair, I think it's just a matter of echoing what the colleagues have been saying, that the oath you have just administered now does point it out that the witness must answer fully and satisfactorily. And beyond that, Chair, I don't know how an education background can become a security hazard. And also in the body of the affidavit itself, there are a lot of events that the witness is telling us which are pre-1990. Honorable Skosana is talking about the 1978 thing, 76. He details on his life in 1986, 1987, 1989. Now, the nature the nature of the paragraph itself is actually limiting us from diving down to what is saying in the body also of the affidavit. So I think we shouldn't accept that there are matters before 1990 that should not be responded to. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I think, honorable members, it goes without a debate. The witness has deposed a statement with us. This committee has been mandated to investigate. So any allegations that have been made or any information that members of the committee want to probe with you, they are going to do so. Let me remind you that you are under oath, and let's cooperate.
Thank you, Chairman. For the record, the oath I took was to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. I did not take an oath to answer every single question if it's going to violate my personal information and my family security. And if we take, Chairman, paragraph 3, and we take paragraph 5.1, Chairman, the two are not related.
Mr. O'Sullivan. Let's not go to the statement now.
Okay.
You Look at me. You have the evidence leader in front of leader is going to lead.
Okay, thank you, Chairman.
And the oath that you have taken here says that satisfactorily. And satisfactorily. You are going to ask questions that have lawfully been put to you.
Thank you, Chairman.
So if you have deposed a paragraph that